I don't need no juice. Baby, loving you is a must, yeah. What have I done, girl? I have no clue.
Can we start? Okay.
Steady on the grind, I've been making moves. Cause I want satisfy you. Cause you my medicine, girl. Cause you my remedy, oh. When you wake up for money, yeah, I go there by your side. Oh baby, oh my baby, oh my baby, yeah.
More music on trendybeats.com.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, they call me robot. They call me robot.
More music on trendybeats.com.
I can no more pretend. Just scatter my defense. They do things for the end. Swear you go like me. Can I be your man? Bad friend with no relent. Doing all the things you like. My temperature rising. You be my queen, I don't need no rules. It's a love song, I don't need no blues. You be my sugar, I don't need no juice. Baby, loving you is a must, yeah. What have I done, girl? I have no clue. From a distance, girl, I'm feeling good. Steady on the grind, I've been making moves. Cause I want satisfy you. Cause you my medicine, girl. Cause you my remedy, oh. When you wake up for money, yeah, I go there by your side. Oh baby, oh my baby, oh my baby, yeah. Girl, we can never go wrong. We no go use your body play. No go use your do test strong. But me I no go do town. You know with your heart, you know. Nobody else can take your throne. Whenever you need, call my phone. I'll be your superman. You be my queen, I don't need no rules. It's a love song, I don't need no blues. You be my sugar, I don't need no juice. Baby, loving you is a must, yeah. What have I done, girl? I have no clue. From a distance, girl, I'm feeling good. Steady on the grind, I've been making moves. Cause I want satisfy you. Cause you my medicine, girl. Cause you my remedy, oh. When you wake up for money, yeah, I go there by your side. Oh baby, oh my baby, oh my baby, yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Sewa, and I have with me Professor Nyako from the University of Cape Coast on GEO Week, GEO Live 2022. I'm here to interview him. You're welcome, Professor Nyako.
Thank you very much, Sewa.
Professor Nyako, what has GEO 2022, how has it been for you so far?
Well, from my point of view as a lecturer, it's been an eye-opener on how we can apply geo-observation systems or spatial technology to our day-to-day activities, and also getting new ideas where we can reorient our curriculum for university education in Ghana.
Awesome. Professor Nyako, what has been your catch so far from Monday till today? What has been your catch so far?
Basically on various opportunities that avails to the young ones, especially the university communities, looking at Digital Earth Africa, and also the severe program, and that's of ESRI. Their programs that we can leverage on in order to educate the young ones within the university communities in Africa and Ghana.
Lovely. So obviously your expectations have been met. Are there any recommendations you have for us for next year, GEO Week 2023?
Yes, since this more about the future, we need to get the young ones involved because they are the future. They are going to carry out this technology. So in the 2023 activities, we want to see more youth activities, youth presentations, and in form of posters and probably other plenary sections.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It was wonderful having you.
Thank you very much, Sewa.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sewa.
Okay, so the next thing, when you are done, you do an outro. Thank you very much for stay tuned. Something like that.
Where's my home?
Aren't you ready for another?
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
What's your name, please?
Toko.
Toko.
Yes.
What country are you from?
Oh, from South Africa. May
Your
I
phone.
please go to the other side? I would like new lipstick.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I'll be right back, sir.
Alright.
Yeah.
No. It's difficult getting them when Amanya so far.
Which people are you interviewing?
Oh, those with the green tag, those who just
Temporary.
Yeah. So you
There's one coming with a photo.
the photographer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we have somebody coming. You there? Hey. You can gas people out, Papa.
Why did you add a zozo to it? That one is sweet. You understand? Oh.
Only one here.
Let me find somebody.
That's your work, but you won't do. You always want to come here. But I will be on my event, you know, I think that's
Mauto, is that you?
Where you day, there I go day with you. I go day with you. Me and you be good. Now you put the sugar for my cocoa, girl. Call me on the phone and I'll be there. And baby, I'll be there. You make a bad man one color. I'm on my way. In a little traffic, but I won't be late. Can't wait to put it on you. Anything I do it for you. Girl, you fire. Me can't deny that. Many girls for me and fly you brother. Tell me who on you, mommy water. I go be your Santa. Na na de, na na de. Where you day, there I go day with you. Me and you be good. No, no. Na na de, na na de. Where you day, there I go day with you. I go day with you. Me and you be good. No, no. Good day with you. Can I go day with you? You got me in the mood. I go there with you. It's Mr. Do It.
Spiritual mix.
More music on trendybeats.com.
Okay, to the left, not to the right. Now lean back. You know the vibes, dope nation. What be your price? Yesterday price, no be today price. To the left, not to the right. Now lean back. You know the vibes, dope nation. What be your price? Yesterday price, no be today price.
This is another Tolio for my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for a bullet. But this big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls then they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just the one that say which can party yeah. Everything yakba, everything there. Ah, oh shit. I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys then they like to throw away. Almost go be. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy guests like make this stallion. But my girlfriend they yeah they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah, yeah. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah, yeah.
Everybody, please come on in and take your seats. There'll be a slight adjustment in the last part of the agenda. Keep doing whatever you're doing, but come on in. Minister Afriye will be coming in. He was scheduled to be deep into this session, but he's been here while we've been late. So we're going to put Minister of the Interior Afriye here first, and then we'll move on to the award ceremony. So please come in, take your seats, finish your pictures, and then we'll welcome him.
Dear delegates, would you please take your seats? The class is in session, and the principal is about to enter.
Countdown. Hello.
Yes? Who said that? Who said that?
Okay. Okay. This.
So we will bookend this GEO plenary, almost a bookend. We started off on Wednesday, Wednesday, with the keynote from the Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Bawumbai, and with an introductory presentation from the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation, Dr. Afriye. And we will end it, or at least from the official leadership role of Ghana, with Minister Afriye as well, giving us his closing comments. But we are not done, because after that we still have the award ceremony and the preparations and anticipation of GEO-18 in the ministerial plenary, which we will have immediately following. So it is my honor, again, to introduce, to speak to you from the perspective of his role as Minister of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation for Ghana, Minister Kwaku Afriye. Please, sir.
Okay, thank you. The lead GEO co-chair, the GEO co-chairs, the GEO Secretariat Director, members of the GEO community, like we say in Ghana and Nigeria, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to give the closing remarks for this all-important plenary. Throughout this week, you've had the opportunity to sample our tasty and sometimes spicy dishes. I know because I've been giving feedback, and also have experienced the rich culture and warm hospitality of the Ghanaian people. We are happy to know that the high patronage of our local dishes and drinks. It's been a busy week for the GEO community, and we are proud that Ghana has successfully hosted the first post-COVID GEO week. From the side events, exhibition, executive committee meetings to the plenary, the GEO week has been insightful, informative, and provided the opportunity for the entire community to reflect on the current work of GEO and offer key inputs into the post-2025 strategy that will shape the new and the future direction of GEO. Ladies and gentlemen, the GEO Week theme, Global Action for Local Impact, challenges us to translate our collective effort into actions that will produce practical solutions to address the world's growing problems. It challenges us to measure our effort and the impact of our work, and to determine whether our interventions are making a difference in societies, economies, and indeed the environment. We acknowledge the work done so far by GEO, nevertheless, the growing impact of climate change, land degradation, coastal erosion, wildfires, biodiversity loss, among others, compel GEO not to relent on its efforts, but to find new ways, models, and methods of delivering on its mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, business as usual will not be enough. Indeed, this calls for concerted efforts and unflinching commitment to support access to Earth observation and in situ data, including ready analysis of data, and I call on GEO members and the participating organizations to increase investments in initiatives that will deliver more impact. We must continue to strengthen institutional and organizational capacities in the developing countries to transform these data sets into useful and actionable information for decision making. Ladies and gentlemen, Again, in demonstrating our commitment to GEO, Ghana will aim to achieve 3 important milestones in the short to medium term. First, we will be working with GEO Secretariat to establish a Ghana National GEO with the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute as the coordinating institution. Second, we will be launching and implementing the Ghana Space Policy, as was announced by the Vice President of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Dubaumia, in the first half of 2023, and we wish to extend our call to all members and the participating organization for collective support to Ghana on this score. Thirdly, Ghana is happy to be part of GEO Land Degradation Neutrality Flagship, as announced today, and we are thankful to the German government for their support to the flagship and the University of Energy and Natural Resources for hosting postgraduate program in land degradation neutrality for master's and doctorate studies. The program is earmarked to start in January 2023. I want to use this opportunity to extend the call to all member countries to join the example of Germany in providing support in the form of scholarships for youth and laboratories to support the smooth running of this postgraduate program and ensuring that we are training our next generation towards a united efforts for a land degradation neutral world. Let me say, at this stage, when you do that, you will be saving yourself some of the finest brand of Forestario cocoa, brand of cocoa, which Ghana produces. Because if you didn't know, almost all the brands of boiled cocoa will have to have an input from Ghana. So if you don't ensure that there's land degradation neutrality in Ghana, all your cocoa will going to be wiped out. And that is not an empty threat. And I don't think the global north will like this one. So we are calling for partnership to support our effort towards establishing the Ghana Space Agency. And Ghana is keen to position itself and to take a bold step towards defining innovative ways of using information technologies and services to address our developmental challenges and to achieve the goals of Agenda 2063 and 2030 Agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, as you go back to your various countries, I will urge you to think about the opportunity to work collaboratively, reaching out to countries that are looking forward to explore Earth observations to achieve a wider impact. This is our chance to make a difference, to collectively define novel and innovative solutions that meet the challenges of the 21st century. And before I take my seat, I would like to thank you all for making the GEO Week a fruitful one. We appreciate the leadership of GEO Secretariat, co-chairs, and the entire GEO community for your confidence in Ghana to host this year's GEO Week. Finally, I wish to express my gratitude to the local organizing committee for delivering a successful GEO Week. I wish you a safe flight back to your countries, and you're always welcome to come back to Ghana. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of us. Thank you.
And we're still here. Hello. Now is the chance to talk about one of the key tracks that we've had within the GEO and over the last couple of years and growing even more this year is the youth and industry tracks. on the youth track, I would like to invite to the stage Mary Namukose from the Women in Geographical Information Systems from Uganda, and also Patricia Cummings from ESRI to talk about showcase the highlights of the youth and industry tracks from GEO. Please. Come on. Keep the time. Come on.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the young people and earlier career professionals, we would like to congratulate the local organizing committee and the GEO Secretariat for organizing such a colorful GEO Week 2022 here in Ghana. I think they deserve a round of applause. Thank you. As the youth, we would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the sponsors of the GEO Week 2022, especially those that facilitated the youth to attend the GEO Week. But above all, our gratitude goes to the GEO Secretariat for introducing the Youth Tracker in the GEO Week. It has been a great platform for the youth and area and early career professionals to engage, to connect with the private sector, and also to meet senior professionals in Earth observation. We leave this place inspired, but also motivated to do more in Earth observation in our different countries where we are coming from. Ladies and gentlemen, through the various presentations, we have seen the need, the desire of the youth to engage and to collaborate in Earth observation and to engage in different GEO activities in order to unlock the potential of Earth observation for socio-economic transformation of our countries. As youth, we are calling upon GEO Secretariat to deepen youth engagement in its different work programs. We also realize that GEO and its member states and the participating organizations, they have quite a lot of opportunities to engage with youth. There are already existing youth initiatives in GEO member states and also participating organizations. We call upon GEO to make use of these networks in order to increase youth participation and engagement in its different work programs. However, youth engagement, just like any other stakeholder engagement process, it's not cheap. It takes a lot of time and also requires significant resources. We therefore call upon the private sector, GEO member states, to increase the resource envelope for youth engagement processes moving forward. As youth, we have noticed over the past few days the convening power of the GEO Secretariat. We would like GEO to use this power to build more strategic partnerships with the private sector, research and academic institutions to address the infrastructure challenges and the capacity gaps young people in Earth observation are facing. Last but not least, I would like to call upon my fellow youth to speak up. Let's continue speaking up whenever we get the opportunity. Let us continue working together. Let us seize the opportunities that Earth observation offers in unlocking, in addressing the challenges that we are facing on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Namakose. And now I'd like to introduce from the industrial partnership side, from ESRI, we have here Patricia Cummings.
Well, it's hard to follow such inspirational youth engagement in GEO, but I think that was one of the more exciting things about this GEO meeting. But I'll give you just a quick synopsis of some of the activities from the GEO, the industry track this year. It was a challenging one because there were so many good things on the agenda. Everybody had hard choices to make, whether you were in some of the side events, in the youth track, or in the industry track. If you didn't make it to the industry track, our theme this year was public-private partnerships, a catalyst for local action. Public-private partnerships have been are currently a really big topic around the world. It certainly is in the United States. Other associations have been doing studies on this to really look at what are the models. How do organizations engage with the private sector in a meaningful way? And this was the theme of our industry track. We were building on what we did last year in the industry track. It was very different last year with the everything virtual, but we tried to build on what we had accomplished then. So we were trying to really look beyond just talking about public-private partnerships to understand what models work, whether there are some success examples out there that we could learn from and propagate around the world. I think what we found was it's a lot easier to talk about partnerships than to actually do them. But I think we all try different things. We engage in very practical ways through many GEO things. We explored in the industry track, we put a combination of panels together where we brought in experts, we brought in a report from the World Geospatial Industry Council who's been studying this topic, so we're learning from them, trying to not recreate the wheel. And so we really tried to move the conversation forward. One of the things that was lacking was we didn't really have maybe the input or participation from GEO members in there to respond to the conversations that were happening. The room was pretty empty because there were so many different things going on. But I think we really need to rethink if we're going to do, and if we want to engage industry, do we have them in a separate track while the real heart of GEO is happening in a side event on Digital Earth Africa or on GeoGlows or on the youth track? It kind of sets up this a separation. We're creating a stovepipe here by having these arbitrary separations when I think what we really want to do is come together and collaborate. And I think the last session we had in the industry track was really looking at what are the kind of key factors or indicators of successful partnerships, whether they're an official public-private partnership with MOUs and other documents signed, or they're just partnerships that work because you've all come together on a common goal and you figure out what your strengths are. What are the strengths of the different people that are coming together in this partnership, and you figure out how to move forward. When we boiled it down, I think we pretty much agreed that the key to successful partnerships is built around trust, and that the only way we get to that trust level is by building the relationships. And I think that's what GEO does. I think there was just mentioned that GEO is this great convener. GEO as a body, GEO as through the side events, the work program areas, there are plenty of opportunities to engage in a real meaningful way. But I think GEO needs to think about how they really want to engage with the private sector. One other word of caution is that the private sector isn't one thing. The private sector is hardware companies, software companies, platform providers, it's data providers, it's donors, it's all kinds of different, there are many flavors of private sector, so we can't just talk about them as one thing and how we engage in those partnerships. So we really have to think about that. I think this came up this morning I was in the National Adaptation Planning session. One of the questions was, how do you engage with the private sector? And I think GeoGlam representative responded and said, we really have to define what is the kind of the value proposition for private sector engagement. GEO needs to think about that, the private sector needs to think about that, and then what, if we're interested in that, what's the mechanism to implement that? I think there's one other opportunity that may, that may be a way to really dig deeper on this. There's a lot of talk this week about national GEOs. And if we have national GEOs happening, maybe there's an opportunity to really explore the public-private partnership there when you can focus in a region, in a country, or at the regional GEO level and connect with the partners in that area. So I'll just say that I think what we've been hearing a message here all along is that collaboration is everybody and that we go further together. And I think that when we think about collaboration and inclusiveness, it's geographic, it's cross-sector, it's private sector, it's governments, it's non-profits, it's academia. So I think GEO would benefit from taking a broader look at how we engage in those partnerships, how we welcome more people to the table, because we all know there's a lot of work to be done. There are big challenges to be met. We are all here because we know that Earth observations data, when properly used, can help inform decisions, can help make a difference and reach that local impact. But the way to do it is going to be more inclusive in these partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. And just a comment, the one thing that I got resonate with what I heard her say, found it was a lot easier to talk about partnerships than to actually execute those. And I think we all can recognize that it's easier for us to get the work done on our own than it is to get a partner in to do it. But that's why we're here, because we need to work together to accomplish these things, and we need to make the room bigger because the task is getting bigger and bigger. But the other piece of the follow-up now is the capabilities that we have. And this is our opportunity to recognize the contributions, the really above and beyond, but there is no top limit in what above and beyond can be, from some of our experts within GEO. And that's GEO writ large, with everybody involved. So I'm going to welcome to the stage Lawrence Friedel and Yana Gevorgian, who will talk about and present the award ceremonies for this year's GEO Awards. And they're welcome to bring, I know there are many others involved. I want to thank all of the folks on the awards committee. I know, Jean, you were on there as well. And I'm sure there are others that I'm not aware of. Thank you all for the work that goes into evaluating and in promoting the individuals who will be recognized today. Jan.
This is the best part of the whole show. No, I'm kidding. The whole show has been great, from morning of yesterday till now. But this is the celebration. Are you guys? Yes. So if there are people out there in the hallway, have them come in, have them see and hear about the people who are making GEO happen and GEO work. Look, this tradition of recognizing our community and members of our community, organizations in our community, partners in our community started in 2019, officially kicked off in 2019 in a beautiful location in Canberra. Do you remember that botanic garden? Those of you who were there, oh, it's so glamorous and so gorgeous. We all gathered there, we were dressed up, and we kicked off this amazing tradition. And it was a joint kind of a kickoff. We kicked off the GEO Individual Excellence Award and the SDG Award. So today, again, we're doing this in this kind of joint back-to-back way, because all of that is happening under one common banner of the group on Earth Observations delivering impact, and you'll get to see just how. So I am going to ask Jean Dussart and lovely Phoebe Odur, please come up here, because they were among the judges, or jury. I don't like the word judges. Jury is also not very, I don't know. They were the pickers of the winners for the GEO Individual Excellence Award. I will be revealing the names of the winners after I tell you a few things about them. So first up, this person is an excellent musician and plays the guitar at his local church on a regular basis. In his younger days, he was an avid hockey player, reaching provincial level. For those of you who don't know, that's one tier below national. I always love learning things that have nothing to do with Earth observations about our members of the community. In the context of GEO, he has promoted Mercury monitoring activities in Africa through the GEO flagship Global Observing System for Mercury, GOES4M, setting up 4 new sites in South Africa and engaging 8 other countries in Africa. This person who plays the guitar is Linwell Garth Martin. And Phoebe will present the award to Linwell.
Finally, I see your face. Ooh, oh my days. I've been out here looking for you for days. Ooh, I just want to say, my hair, you take for my hair. I know fit to reset, I know fit to connect. Waiting there, your back, say make a defend. I know fit to defend, even if I play defense. Yeah. I won't comport myself.
And little, don't go away. You have exactly 1.5 minutes to say a few things.
Thank you. I will try and stick to the time limit that was given to me. I know it says it's an excellence award, but I think behind this award is definitely a team of people that has helped and assisted me. And I think that is what is unique about being part of the GEO family, is that there's always people eager to help and assist. And I've been in this field since 2018, so I'm very new. So it's indeed an honor to be recognized for the short time of period that I've been in this field, and especially for the help and the support that I've received from the Department of Science and Innovation in South Africa, the whole team of DSI. I want to thank you, especially the DDG in front. When the proposal came across his desk, he had good enough faith that we wanted to start this project when the whole world was on lockdown. So they really had good faith in me, and especially my team also at the South African Weather Service where I'm based. It is definitely an honor to receive something like this, and I just want to encourage all the GEO participants and researchers. I recently listened to an inaugural talk of a friend of mine, and he mentioned that no person is an island, and that we need each other in this community if we want to advance research. We are, as we've mentioned this week, we are stronger together. I thank you. Thank you.
All right, in the interest of time, moving on. Check this out. The next person, he's a loving husband and dad and a guitar player and literary critic. He did a hilarious review of Ulysses. The next one is going to reveal who he is. He's got a 15.3.1, and we all know now what that is, right? Everybody knows? That LDN indicator, yep, 15.3.1, proportion of land that is degraded over total land area, printed on his t-shirt. And he uses it both at home and in conferences. Anybody can guess who the winner is? Okay. He also probably deserves an award for having been one of the leads of the EAG working group. Still nothing? You saw him today speak on behalf of the EAG, but his real involvement is in GEO-LDN, and that is Neil Sims. And Jean Dussauve is going to present the beautiful trophy. By the way, this trophy on the design, it has this patterns, the lovely Ghanaian patterns. Picture.
been a long week, so yeah, sure. In my time zone, 1.5 minutes is actually 4.5 minutes. Thanks so much, Yana, and to everyone in GEO for this award. I'm really very proud of it. I love my work here. I need to thank CSIRO for their support of me to come here. I'd like to thank very much the German government for their support of the GEO-LDN initiative, and I recognise that the people in the initiative should take and do get a lot of credit for this. We're doing this very much together, and not least because of the nomination. I'd particularly like to congratulate Amos, who's done a fantastic job this week getting this together. And I'd like to thank him in particular for bringing me back to Africa. We've talked about this before. I really love it here, and I don't remember until I get here what I love about it, and there's a lot of things, but certainly the people here are very beautiful, and everyone is gentle and graceful, and they're really passionate about their countries. And the women here in particular seem empowered and highly capable, and these attributes are a great credit to the cultures here in Africa. I think you should all be very proud of that. When I think of GEO-LDN, which is the main reason that I'm here, I think of us as a bunch of friends, you'd call them mates in Australia, who are very passionate about what we're trying to do, and we're joining forces to try and have the greatest impact that we can. And it's a real privilege to work on something like that. Not many people do. It's easy to take for granted. Not many people get to work on something that they love like that. That mateship and the friendship is the secret to our success in the LDN initiative. And so when I look around this room, I see the faces of so many highly capable people. And, you know, I've known some of you for a very long time. And I've met some of you just this week, but I do call many of you friends, actually. And I reckon that is the power of GEO. If you want to know what GEO does, that's what it does. And so I really want us to imagine what we can do together because of this forum and because of that friendship that we build up through here. But not just imagine it, we can actually do these great things. And so that's what we need to do and what I want to do. And I'm really proud to be a part of the GEO family. And I'm really looking forward to joining forces with as many of you as possible to do great things over the coming years. So thank you very much.
The next GEO Individual Excellence Award, Phoebe, will present to, are you ready for this? He plays the guitar. In fact, he has a wall of guitars in his home office. Now, was that a requirement this year? But he's also a tailor. He learned it from his father when he was a kid of 5 years old. At first, his father paid him, guess what? Not to stitch, but to sit and watch. Probably to get him out of creating all kinds of trouble, right? If you pay him to sit, then no trouble. Anywho, Phoebe will be presenting this award to Michael Suffron, who has developed the core technologies and workflow associated with the GeoGlows Streamflow Forecast.
Okay, to the left, not to the right. Now lean back. You know the vibes, dope nation. What be your price? Yesterday price, no be today price. Hey, to the left, not to the right. Now lean back. You know the vibes, dope nation. What be your price? Yesterday price, no be today price. Hey, you go for one side. Yaro don't try. Yeah, mommy can't short. Yeah, I be you know the vibes. You go for one side. Yaro don't try.
Michael, you know the drill. A minute, no. A minute and a half to say, what's the story behind the wall of guitars, or in fact, the Geo magic?
Now I know that playing the guitar is probably one of the requirements to be considered for the award. I don't think I'm as good as these guys just by looking at them. But I can tell you about the magic behind GeoGlows. Is a group effort. And I would also like to recognize that and mention some people by name. First of all, Jim Nelson from Brigham Young University, my former PhD advisor and mentor. He had the vision to get this started. And then Harsh from the World Bank, who helped us begin the implementation of GeoGlows and train different local areas. Of course, Angelica, who constantly fights for us and what we're doing. Steve Goh from Esri, from the beginning, they also helped with their technology so that we could get this up. So yes, I'm honored to receive this award, and the recognition feels good. But what feels even better is to see the effect that the work that I am doing is having in the world. To listen to Samuel this morning talk about what they've done in Malawi, this is the award, but that is the reward. So thank you very much.
If you can join those other guitar players, please.
Okay, to the left.
Now,
to
who
the right.
agrees
Now lean back.
that the next time we all gather, these three have to have a jam session? Yes, all right. So, last but not least, will you believe this? She does not play the guitar, but she loves free diving and is working toward her level 3 certification to beat her current personal record of 35 meters depth in one breath. She's an avid gardener and takes pride in growing and cooking produce from her garden. She loves to hike in nature and go foraging for edible plants. There's a theme there: crops, growing, harvests. Jean Dusart would have presented to Christina Justice the award for having demonstrated exemplary leadership building the GeoGlam crop monitor for early warning community. Because Christina wasn't able to join us here in Accra, Maccabee, where are you? She has asked Maccabee to receive the award on her behalf. But do we have a video from Christina? We do have a video from Christina. So while we are taking the picture with Maccabee, with Christina's award in her hands, we're going to cue up the video.
My last one CD I go bet on. You got my body type and I know just any girl can.
Do we have the video?
Thank you, Yana and the GEO Secretariat for this award, and thank you to my colleagues at GeoGlam for this nomination. It's a real honor to accept this award from the GEO community. I started my work with GEO in late 2016, working to build the GeoGlam Crop Monitor for Early Warning initiative, and have since seen it grow into the strong, thriving, and collaborative community it is today. I would like to thank the GeoGlam Crop Monitor for Early Warning community for their trust in me in leading this activity over the years, and my colleagues at the University of Maryland and NASA Harvest, without which none of this work would be realized. I would also like to especially thank my mentor, Dr. Imbal Becker-Reshef, who continues to motivate and inspire me in the work I do. It's an incredibly exciting time for Earth observations in support of early warning and early action. In the impending face of global-scale climate concerns, with our warming climate and increasing frequency of extreme events, what brings me hope is the capacity of EO for good. Not only for providing early warning of these events, allowing for early action by governments and humanitarian organizations, but also the strong global community that has been built over the years and continue to come together under this call. When I think of GEO, I think of community. What makes a strong community? Mutual respect and shared purpose. This to me is the strong foundation GEO and GEOGLAM provide, which has allowed the early warning community this forum for open discussion and open sharing and cross-organization collaboration. I feel extremely proud to be part of this work, to be part of this community, and very excited to see how we will continue to grow in the coming years. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Yana.
So with this, if we can first, a round of applause to the two jurors. And then a big round of applause to our winners. And while we do that, Lawrence, you may walk down. Sorry. Group
More music on trendybeats.com.
Baby, follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, you with your coca body. Follow my command, like zombie. Go down on me, you with your coca body. Cause this your milky for front enough for me. Hold on for me, I no go do me corny. And if you're milky na fighty, I saw me to look. Baby, gonna waka when you enter Malija. Baby, gonna will you give me sugar? Wahala.
Hello, everyone, and we are going to be turning to the Sustainable Development Goal Awards. And so I'm Lawrence Friedel from the United States, and I'm a co-chair of the GEO initiative, the Earth Observations for Sustainable Development Goals. And with me is Mariam Rabi, who is with UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and she is a member of the brand new EO for SDG board. And so for EO for SDG, we really are looking to try to encourage uses of Earth observations and geospatial information to support the SDGs. So we're encouraging work, and we're doing work with countries, with UN offices, custodian agencies, and others. Work a lot with people within the GEO Work Program, and so there's many GEO Work Program activities that are also engaged in the SDGs, and so we just really want to thank you for your cooperation in this. It really is looking at those cross-linkages within the GEO Work Program. So these are the awards, and this is what they look like, so very similar to the ones you've sort of seen, but here is the award. We give them out in order to recognize novelty and achievement and impact and really exemplary uses of Earth observations to support the 17 SDGs, whether it's to be support in managing the targets or also for reporting on the indicators. This is our 4th year that we're doing this, and we've had another rich set of nominees and nominations. And one of the really things that we enjoy doing is reading all of them, because we wind up learning about uses of Earth observations and ways to use it for sustainable development that we just didn't know about, without getting these nominations. So we also want to say thank you very much to our review committee. There were 8 experts across countries and across sectors, so our appreciation. And so we are pleased to announce there's going to be 6 awards across sectoral and special categories. And after each award, the awardees are going to be giving some brief remarks about the impacts of Earth observations on the SDGs, or whatever they choose to use their 73 seconds for. So the first one is the GEO Member Country Awards, and the award goes to Mexico, the organization Reforestamos Mexico. And so, Jimena, if you want to make your way up here while we describe. So we are recognizing
so we're recognizing them for uses of Earth observations in analysis of forest connectivity corridors in Mexico, and this is related to SDG Target 15.2, which is progress towards sustainable forest management. This effort is using Landsat data to generate land use and land cover layers to assess 8 forest connectivity corridors across 16 states of Mexico. They determine potential restoration, conservation, and forest management activities to increase environmental services to the population. So the activities are supporting local decision makers regarding land management, conservation, biodiversity, ecosystem services, and all that. And so this effort is also enhancing local partnerships and building new alliances to support better local land management. So receiving the award is Jimena Juarez from Mexico. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. It's an honor to receive this award on behalf of Reforestamos Mexico. And I was asked to make some remarks on what is the impact of EO. It's a hard task to achieve in 60 seconds, so I'll just try to put it into some perspective. For instance, Reforestamos Mexico has used EO to produce information across forest corridors in Mexico, which altogether add up to 1 million square kilometers. 1 million square kilometers, so let that sink in. And well, that is half of Mexico's land surface. Half of Mexico's land surface and the home to 19 million individuals, including members of indigenous communities in the region. And this is just one initiative. So what is indeed the impact of EO? Well, EO alone can offer data and insights on an immense variety of matters. But in the right hands, our hands, your hands, EO is the key that unlocks a better and greener world for everyone and everywhere. Always, we are better together.
Thank you very much. Midasi, Oji Waladon.
The next award is for the Participating Organization Award, and the winner is the United Nations Satellite Center, UNISAT, which is part of the GEO-participating organization, the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, who we know as UNITAR. And so this award is recognizing them for their emergency mapping service and connections to SDG Target 11.5, which is reducing deaths, people affected, and economic losses by disasters. And their service is also connections to 13.1 and 17.6. And so it provides satellite image analysis during humanitarian emergencies that are related to disasters and complex emergencies and conflict situations. So it provides it's a 24-hour service to process requests for timely and tailored delivery of derived maps and other products for evidence-based decision-making and operational planning. Some recent examples are in Nepal to aid during some flooding during the monsoon season, and also when Tropical Cyclone Ray struck the Philippines, really helping there in terms of helping their United Nations, other agencies, United Nations. So, accepting on behalf of UNISAT is Lorenzo De Simone, who is with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, and he is also the chair of the EO for SDG board. So, Lorenzo.
I'ma get no be so, girl you won't capture my soul. I'ma get no be so, make you one umbo. Better bye, I'm loose, even better.
Thank you, and on behalf of UNITAR, UNOSAT, I'm receiving this prize. I've had the pleasure to work with them in several collaborations between FAO and them, and I have to say that I was blown away by the rapidity with which UNOSAT could process and publish services for very large data sets, whereas with UNITAR we've been collaborating on development of training material, and it was very nicely done in a very divulgative manner, which makes Earth observation, you know, also interesting for the trainees. So also the look and feel, the way the Earth observations are proposed, I think that also has an important role. Thank you.
The next category is for the Academia Award, and this award winner is KTH, Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden, and so I see Yufeng Bang coming down, so thank you. So we're recognizing KTH for a tool. It's an interactive city definition and automatic calculator for SDG indicator 11.3.1. And as many of you may know, that's about the ratio of land consumption rate to population growth rate. And so this is part of 11.3 to enhance inclusive and sustainable urbanization. And so this tool, this city definition tool, automatically and interactively generates city definitions based on the degree of urbanization, which is a UN endorsed method to make the performance of cities comparable. And so KTH in Stockholm has played a leading role in using Earth observations for urban mapping and urbanization monitoring. And so this tool is using Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2, Landsat, population data like PopGrid and GHSL, and it's part of a Google Earth Engine app that they've developed, and again, enabling users to compare different population and EO-based data sets, plus any data that users also have, and they can also be adjusting boundaries for their analysis and scenarios. And so, accepting is Yufeng Ban, who is a professor and director in the Division of Geoinformatics at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology. I wasn't on the review panel for this one because I actually have a personal connection with Yufeng. It was actually back in 1995, 27 years ago, when we met at the International Space University. It was a summer session program that was actually held in Stockholm and at KTH. And so we reunited here actually in Accra. And so it's been a pleasure to see her after 27 years. But anyway, Yufeng, congratulations to you and your entire team.
And when I step in, I'll be right on time. I hope you're ready, we go jam all night. In any weather, whether rain or shine. You go and pass. You better on your hazard. And then the money don't matter, because the party don't scatter. You go and pass. You better on your hazard. And then the money don't matter, because the party don't scatter.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, and great to meet you here after 27 years. I'm really honored to accept this award on behalf of my team at KTH in Stockholm. And I would like to thank the UN Habitat and all the collaborators at KTH, my institution, for their support. Without everybody's talents and dedication, we wouldn't be able to produce the app that can automatically produce the indicator results. To me, the impact of EO on SDG is that I think Earth observations in general and open access observation data in particular have significantly improved the data production at the local level. For SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, local data production is extremely important. So this is really improving our EO data production, improved significantly the SDG 11 monitoring at a global scale. So thank you very much.
We have 3 more awards left, and I'm going to jump right into it. So in the GEO Work Program category, we're pleased to recognize Digital Earth Africa for their community work on saving Zanzibar's mangroves. In Zanzibar, the local communities rely on mangroves to stabilize their shorelines, protect the land and people from natural disasters, and to provide habitats for marine life. Sadly, these mangrove habitats are regressing at an alarming rate. SDG 14.5 endeavors to conserve these important coastal and marine areas. Researchers from the State University of Zanzibar are using Digital Earth Africa to obtain insights into trends of mangroves in Zanzibar and empower the community to make better informed decisions regarding the impacts of climate change. The researchers have empowered their students to use Digital Earth Africa to monitor and assess changes in mangroves and in turn collaborate with youth mappers, SUSA chapter, to validate the results. Accepting on behalf of Digital Earth Africa is Dr. Kenneth Bumbeya, Capacity Development Lead for Digital Earth Africa.
All my beautiful ladies who wanna link up, make one send me location. Me and my homies having a drink up. Aqua safari with a vacation. 5-star life. Just keys moving like dolphins. And you know we got ice on ice. Big boys know they like talking. What else?
I can't let you go, cause of the craze for your body. And the energy, oh, make it give me one day.
Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. Digital Earth Africa is humbly accepting this award, demonstrating the value of Earth observation in helping addressing the Sustainable Development Goals. And the issue is you use the Earth observation and you work with countries and champions. And I've been working with the State University of Zanzibar. The lecturer here is Karia Mosud, who's been our champion in Zanzibar, empowering the community, working with the youth mappers, and you've heard the narrative that we have a few years to achieve these SDGs, just like 8 years, so this calls for a decade of action. Climate change is real, and working with everyone here in terms of collaboration, we can achieve this, and also clap for each and everyone for the initiative to be part of GEO and continue to use this Earth observation to create a better future for everyone. So better data, for better decisions and better lives for the future. Thank you.
Okay, in the commercial sector category, we're pleased to recognize EOS Data Analytics for their suite of AI-powered satellite imagery analytics tools, including crop monitoring, forest monitoring, and the land viewer. EOS Data Analytics generates satellite-driven insights across 22 plus industries and in support of 10 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. EOS Data Analytics primarily supports the agriculture industry via the crop monitoring product, a digital precision agriculture tool that helps farmers remotely assess the health of their crops, cut costs on scouting, soil testing, farm management, and uses seeds and fertilizers more efficiently, particularly important to SDG 2.4 and SDG 12.4. Additionally, EOS Data Analytics, Forest Monitoring is an online satellite-based software for forestry management. Using satellite imagery, the software enables landowners, logging companies, and research institutes, among others, to remotely monitor forest health. Accepting on behalf of the EOS Data Analytics is Lorenzo De Simone of the FAO and the chair of the EO for SDG board.
So baby, come through my we pop champagne. I say your body make I go insane. Girl, your body tonight. I go pop champagne for your body tonight. It's your morning tonight. Girl, your body tonight. Say I go spend all my time for your body.
Okay, so in the collaboration special category, we're pleased to recognize the Costa Rica Ministry of Environment and Energy and the United Nations Development Program for the monitoring of land use change in productive landscapes tool, or MUCAP. The tool supports the sustainable The tool supports the sustainable management of key productive landscapes, SDG 2.3, 2.4, and 12.2, where agricultural export crops are grown nationally, including pineapple, oil palm, and cattle pasture, and to monitor green cover, SDG 11, in the Maria Aguilar Urban Corridor, which crosses 4 municipalities in the greater metropolitan area of Costa Rica. Annually, MOCAP produces maps and reports of these coverages and related tree cover loss and gain using digital identification techniques by processing satellite images and field data with the contribution of public academic institutions. The geospatial information generated by MOCAP is publicly available in Costa Rica's spatial data infrastructure, and the reports are available on the project's website. Accepting on behalf of the Costa Rica Ministry of Environment and Energy and the UNDP is Rafael Monge, Director of National Center of Geoenvironmental Information at the Ministry of Environment and Energy of Costa Rica, and Costa Rica Geo Principal.
Well, as we have seen this week, Earth observations are a catalyst for all the SDGs. With the leadership of the Ministry of Environment and Energy of Costa Rica and UNDP, we have worked on this project that is working for generating key information for SDG 11 for sustainable cities, SDG 12 for sustainable consumption and production, and also SDG 15 related to the protection of our biodiversity and natural habitats. However, the accomplishment of these SDGs also drive to the accomplishments of the other SDGs that we have in our planet for sustainable development to all. One key aspect of this project is making information public and accessible by using different tools and platforms that we have in our country, official platforms, and also the websites where you can find the data that we're generating, and also the reports that explain how these products are being done, so this can be also replicable. And the most important thing also are communications, so people can know and be aware of the use of these products and understand their scope and engage with more users. And this can lead to better decisions in our territories, and also the co-creation of new science, as this project has also been an input for other projects that had been awarded before with this recognition of the SDG, GEO-SDG award. And of course, what's most important is collaboration. And I want to recognize the work of our leadership in the Ministry of Environment and UNDP, but also the technical teams that are part of the generation of this project and making the information available, and also the users that are using this project to make better decisions. As they say here in Ghana, Medase and Ayeko. Thank you and good job.
We're going to get a picture with all of you. So thank you so much for everyone who, well, congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you to all the people who nominated, as well as the people who wrote letters of support and all that. And I also want to give a special shout out to Chris Case, who helped organize the review process this year. So Chris, thank you so much.
You'll be the girlfriend. Girl, I wanna be your boyfriend. Can we go spend this weekend? Take a choice and watch me spend. We'll be the ex, you'll be the girlfriend. Girl, I wanna be your boyfriend. Can we go spend this weekend? Take a choice and watch me spend. Hey, thanks to me, I love you more than you ever, 'cause my ex broke my heart. Oh my God, girl, your love is spiritual. Oh my God, oh, girl, your love, baby. Oh my God, girl, your love is spiritual. Oh my God, oh, girl, your love, baby. Somebody call Bobo, because she don't keep my heart too. In case you wanna know, I say now my sherry coco. I no go lie you, all over the world I swear there is none like you. She hold my guy to us by missing this love, not part one, he no get part two. In on me yard, she is the queen of me yard. So nobody disregard, and she a beat them bad too. Bring the alarm, sound the alarm. Tell everybody, make them know I won. This is God's plan, me and my girl. She's my lucky charm, and she keep me so calm. I say, oh my God, girl, your love is spiritual. Oh my God, oh, girl, your love, baby. Oh my God, girl, your love is spiritual. Oh my God, oh, girl, your love, baby. My woman, she looking like $1 billion. My woman, you know say you be my lover.
So with this, we conclude the awards ceremony section, and we move on to the next item on the agenda. We are running behind. Yes, there you are.
We're running behind, but that was a delightful opportunity to really celebrate the great achievements of the people in our organization and our community. Now we're looking back the last year with the hope for the future because of the energy of the group that we just saw. Now we're looking forward, and I'd like to ask our co-chair from South Africa to the stage, Badeni Mufe, to talk about GEO-19 and the 2023 Ministerial Summit, which will be, I'll let him tell you where and how it will be done.
Good evening. Am I left alone in this hall? We're just going to ask for the video to play. Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to the ministerial next year in December in South Africa, Cape Town. We are going to have a lot of hard work, but there's going to be a lot of parties. As you have seen, there are places for you to visit. We just want to advise you, please, not just to come for those 5 days. Plan to play more as well. You would have worked very hard to prepare for the ministerial. I want to say again, as we're going to be working hard with all the members that will be introduced very soon, that it is definitely going to be not just an excitement of what Cape Town is going to offer in terms of its beautiful venues, but I think the outcomes that we're looking forward to have as a GEO community. Thank you very much.
So, next to last is the next top part of the 2023 summit will be the ministerial. So, Jana Gevorkian, if you come and talk about the status of the, you can sit from there and take it from there, that'd be fine, of the ministerial planning and the ministerial working group. Go ahead.
Yes, just a quick note that we, the executive committee has decided to extend the deadline for the nominations of members to the ministerial working group until November 25. You see on the screen. Please send your nominations to the Secretariat mailbox. And that's all I have to say.
I will note that we do encourage, this is an organization that will help, the group that will help us define the ministerial statement, and we really need input from around the world, from all of our members, and we will make sure, we'll do what we need to make sure that everybody can participate if it requires support in some way or another. But we got to have a good diversity of a group, of inclusion in this working group. And finally, we're at the last part of the agenda, and I'd like to ask the co-chairs to the stage. It'll be a chance for closing remarks from the GEO Executive Committee co-chairs, so, and our GEO Secretariat. So Jana, along with David Applegate, Director of USGS, Lou Donjo, who, on behalf of China, Joanna Drake, please, and Mobini Mouflet, please, again. Guess we're tired of clapping. All right, welcome everybody. Let's go. So Jana. With no particular order, I'll go first with Dr. Applegate, U.S. Geological Survey, please.
Co-chairs, delegates, speakers, the amazing GEO Secretariat, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all the members of the plenary for the great conversations this week, moving us forward in how we approach the use of Earth observations. I want to thank Ghana for hosting this year. I appreciate the effort that goes into hosting such an event. I think we all feel the warmth of the Ghanaian people and the determination of their leaders to bring the benefits of Earth observation to their nation. I'm grateful to Minister Afriyie for sending us off with a strong charge. It was especially relevant to hold this plenary in Africa, where we can see and better understand the crucial need for Earth observations to support sustainable development, goals, and decision-making for the benefit of humankind and the planet. I particularly want to acknowledge the success of AfriGeo at bringing the region together, and to Ghana for its commitment to building a national GEO and serving as an inspiration for others. I'm walking away with a strong sense of shared commitment to collaborate and cooperate, working together to move beyond access to action, putting Earth observations to work for the betterment of our communities, our nations, our regions, our world. Earth observation information when it's needed, where it's needed, and in a form that can be used. The issues we must address are complex: biodiversity loss, climate change, environmental degradation, natural disasters. But we are better able to meet these challenges together, to mitigate, to adapt, to be resilient. Throughout the plenary, we have heard excellent presentations and thoughtful interventions from the delegations. Your active participation ensured that this was not a spectator sport, but a shared endeavor, and that must continue to be the case. The plenary was crucial in setting the stage for the future vision of GEO, a future where user needs are front and center of GEO's mission. I look forward to working with the GEO community towards the Ministerial Summit next year and developing a vibrant vision for GEO's future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Applegate. And I'd like to invite Lu Dongzhou to speak on behalf of China and to introduce our principal from China.
Okay. Delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Lu Dongzhou. I'm the Director of Political Affairs of the Chinese Embassy in Accra. And it's a really honor to be here. Because Chinese co-chair, the Vice Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Zhang Guangjun, cannot attend this meeting by himself, so he entrusted me to attend this conference as the representative of the Chinese government. It is really an honor for me to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, during the past week, we have learned about development of GEOs in the past 17 years, witnessed the new achievements of GEO members in the past 2 years, and familiarized with the new work program that GEO will focus on in the next 2 years, and also learned about the initial considerations of the strategic plan for the next 10 years. On behalf of the GEO China co-chair, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the successful convening of the meeting. In addition to the 6 representatives who attended this conference in this room, we have also about more than 100 Chinese representatives from 8 departments participated in the online meeting. Here, I also want to express our sincere gratitude to the local conference organizer, to the Secretariat, and to the government of Ghana to make this happen. Now, the GEO China co-chair, Mr. Zhang Guangjun, specially recorded a video of his closing remarks. Now, please.
经过2天紧张而有序的工作，在各位同仁的共同努力下，我们一道完成了GEO第18届全会的各项议程。会议达成了既定目标，分享了全球地球观测合作为地方需求提供服务的成功经验，探索了GEO未来10年的发展方向，为明年的部长级峰会打下了坚实基础，取得了圆满成功。在此，我想感谢加拿大政府精心的筹备和安排，感谢2022年轮值主席、各位联合主席和GEO秘书处全体同仁的辛勤工作，感谢GEO各界为本次盛会付出的努力。当前GEO正处于深化发展的关键节点，既是面向2016至2025年战略执行计划的冲刺阶段，又是为第3个10年做好谋划的筹备时期。我呼吁GEO各界通力合作，基于过去取得的成绩，总结过往的经验，继续从全球、区域、国家乃至地方等不同尺度推进地球观测协同发展。在全球尺度上实现地球观测基础设施联通， 加速通过全球综合地球观测系统平台、GEO知识枢纽以及区域和国家级数据共享平台等设施，为国际社会提供及时、准确、广泛的地球观测数据资源、公共服务和信息支撑。在区域尺度上，推动地球观测发展理念融通，结合区域特点和实际需求，围绕区域发展的不同阶段，整合地球观测资源，发挥能力建设中心的作用，着力青年人才培养，共同形成代表区域的思路和声音，为长久合作共赢打下坚实基础。在国家尺度上，促进GEO各成员国民心相通，深化成员国国内协调机制，通过GEO这一重要国际平台，发挥孵化器和放大器的作用，建立平等、开放、合作的全球伙伴关系，共同培育地球观测发展新动能。在地方尺度上，加强地理空间信息要素畅通，协助发展中国家提升能力，开展灾害应急响应、农情监测等定制化服务，共同面向最后1公里问题，制定有用、好用的解决方案。在未来1年里，中国将继续践行成员国承诺，履行联合主席国使命，为GEO发展贡献力量。我们也将积极分享中方在应对气候变化、防灾减灾、可持续发展和韧性城市建设中的有益经验，进一步推动发展中国家在GEO中的深度参与，与各成员国、参加组织共同推动全球地球观测发展，助力国际社会更好地享受地球观测带来的益处。相信在各界同仁的共同努力下，GEO工作必将再上新台阶。谢谢。
Thank you. And now I would like to ask the European Commission's co-chair, Joanna Drake, to the stage.
Thank you very much, Steve. It's been a very rich week, but it is time to also close this the 18th session of the GEO plenary. I would like to, first of all, on behalf of the European Commission, express gratitude to the Ghanaian government for hosting, for driving the organization of the GEO plenary meeting, and also to congratulate them for attracting so many delegates here in Accra. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the fellow co-chairs and more importantly to Steve Bolz as the lead co-chair as well for his bringing us together on many fronts, and also especially to my very close collaborators Jean Doussard and Franz Simler, apart from other colleagues also from the European Commission, without who we would not be making this contribution. More specifically, I'd like to also acknowledge the progress made in the sessions that we've had, the thematic ones. I believe that the discussions we've had will be enabling the GEO community to position itself in future on key data and also as an information provider to the Sendai framework, the Paris Agreement, and the Agenda 2030 for the SDGs. And of course, I look forward very much to meeting you again on the African continent in 1 year from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. And I'd like to turn it over to our fourth co-chair, to Banani Mufe, to present for South Africa.
Let me first thank our host, Ghana, for the excellent week that we have had here in Accra. And I want to specifically single out Professor Amos for your effort over the years and the months building up to this event here today. That some of these things, when you're working on them, the day that you actually sleep is on the last day when you are sure that everything has actually happened and it has gone well. So I hope that you start sleeping well from today. So thanks very much. We can give him a round of applause. I think reflecting on the week as we close, I just want to really appreciate the level of discussions and engagements that we have had over the past, for those of us who have been here since Monday, with the work that has been going on through the regional GEOs and other meetings. And when we reflect on the thematic and very focused discussions that have happened today, looking at the awards that were given just a few minutes ago, I think what is undoubtedly coming through is that the discussion has shifted and the questions have also changed. We are now beginning to think more about the impact. We are looking at the experience of the users. And in some of the discussions that have happened in other meetings, it is very clear that Earth observation is everybody's job, which is why there has also been talk about citizen science and the role in making sure that we get all the data that we require to inform our decisions. So I therefore quite feel excited that we have reached this level where the questions that we ask are relevant, because it doesn't matter how hard you try to answer the question. If the questions themselves are not right, you're going nowhere. So when we get into the mood of beginning to ask the right questions, I think it really means you are halfway there in terms of going where you want to go. So I think that as we begin to plan and look forward, I get the sense that we are already in our mind imagining a world that will be very different. For those of us who are from this continent are looking at a continent that will be very different, a continent whose decisions are going to be informed by data that would have been tested, a continent whose economic direction, as we have seen, the role of our oceans in the economy, and knowing that we haven't even scratched the surface in terms of just exploiting the potential that our oceans can give us. How, through Earth observations, various aspects of our economy, whether you're talking about mining, whether you're talking about agriculture, whether you're talking about employment creation, how that can actually, including issues of energy security, how we can benefit from Earth observations. So it is indeed, for me, very exciting that I live here with a sense that we've got a direction. Yes, we need to continue to engage very robustly on how we continue to reach our goals that we have set us. But I think that the work that we're doing jointly and the level of collaboration that we see, coordination, is going to take us somewhere. So I thank you very much. As again, I look forward to seeing all of you and more in Cape Town next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Benani, for that. And now I ask Jana Gevorkian to speak on behalf of the GEO Secretariat and as your agent in this organization.
This is so bittersweet, right? The end. It comes always so quickly. I first want to thank everyone who contributed to making this happen. The local organizing committee, the government of Ghana, the secretariat team, the volunteers, the dance team, the music team who were here this morning to give us a taste and flavor of beautiful Ghana, I didn't see much of it, so I hope to be back one day. But we spent really productive week here on this beautiful continent. We've heard from people who live in different countries in this continent, one of the richest with natural resources, custodians of some of the amazing forests and biodiversity. The people who are inspirational and aspirational because they want to secure sustainable future for their environment, for their young people. We've heard from the young people who want to be part of that future setting. Everything we've heard showed how they are benefiting from the work that GEO community has been driving. They've spoken to us about the impact that they've experienced in various terms, in terms of experiencing the new connections and learning and hard dollars and cents savings from being able to apply the technologies and the applications to save lives, save lands. There's so much we already have built. Their voices, what we've heard from them in terms of what they want from us going forward, is what's on that horizon that we should be aiming for as we move towards the Table Mountain next December. If for a minute you all can travel back to that bus in the hallway, it says on it, hop on the next GEO direction. I think what we've observed this week is that the wheels on that bus are already in motion. And some people are already on the bus. Some of our delegations, some members of our community are already on that bus. They found their seats. Some we're going to meet at the next stops. Some of them are saying, I'm going to see exactly where that bus is headed. We're going to come to you because we know where you are. We've listened to you. We've heard you. We'll pick you up at the next stop. Some of you will join us even a few stops later, but our goal is to make sure that that bus is full, is packed with all of our members, all the members of our community, our participating organizations and associates, by the time we get to that beautiful, gorgeous Cape Town in South Africa next December. We will get there all together, ensuring that everyone is comfortable on that ride. Because that is what we do here in GEO. We collaborate through consensus. Remember, we said that word consensus so many times. So we have no choice but to build that consensus so we are all comfortable moving into that future together. So let's set those wheels in motion. Let's work together. Let's communicate. Let's hear each other. Let's speak to each other, to make sure we proceed on a comfortable journey towards a real celebration that I know South Africa will deliver. Thank you so much to all of you for taking the time, making the trip. Over and out. All protocols observed? Don't know, but I think I'll end on this note. Thanks very much.
Well, I had some words prepared, but I don't need them. Forget about it. I think Jana closed it out better than I ever could. So I want to thank you all, and I want to be happy to hand over the lead co-chair role to Benani Mufle from South Africa, and I know he will carry us all, he will lead us well all the way to the GEO plenary and the ministerial a year from now. Thank you all, and the meeting is adjourned.
It's yeah, man, me. Now me say my favorite, it's been a long time, girl, mommy, who
He be my protector. So I dey go higher. Yo, baby, I need Paveka. My God be my provider. He be my protector. So I dey go higher. Oh yeah. Me nyawo bi ampo boni. I don't do them anything. People say me another day. If you wish me well, I wish you well. Me nyawo bi ampo boni. I don't do them anything. People say me another day. If you wish me well, I wish you well. Eva, Eva, I still dey fight for the paper. Love me now, no be later. No be later. Eva, Eva, I still dey fight for the paper. Love me now, no be later. Yeah. Nana nyami kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama. Nana nyami be kebi mama, kebi mama. Nana nyami kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama, kebi mama. Nana nyami be kebi mama. Yeah. Me nyawo bi ampo boni. I don't do them anything. People say me another day. If you wish me well, I wish you well. Me nyawo bi ampo boni. I don't do them anything. People say me another day. If you wish me well, I wish you well.
You munyai. Uti make it come and once I see I record with a stolen mic. Ubi see my phone coming here, can see and I two main pie. Ubi banya moshe, na mu destroy the soul inside. Maybe I'm on a monkai.
Shame on you. I pray my God to favor you. What will they do with deja vu? Mamunya and Kefi dead. Shame on you. I pray my God to favor you. What will they do with deja vu? Mamunya and Kefi dead. Mananya me keep him mama, 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 keep him mama. Mananya me keep him mama.
Put my all into you, and you know meant to me. If your feelings ever change, just let me know. I tell you, say give me joy. Anything that go talk, it be love. All the boys who move, them me want. For your love, I go break every law. I tell you, say give me joy. Anything that go talk, it be love. All the boys who move, them me want. For your love, I go break every law. See, I die, yeah, and mommy, what you do me, oh, yeah. I die, yeah, Missy, I die, yeah, you drive me crazy, oh. Don't keep me waiting. This is my jolly. I die, yeah.
Within my command, I've been my from what you're skillet. Oh, baby, oh, daddy. Your love do me like juju. Within my command, I've been my from what you're skillet. Oh, baby, oh, daddy. Your love do me like mystery. So I'm insane. Oh, do it with I'm insane. Oh, I'm insane. Mystery. So I'm insane. Oh, do it with I'm insane. Oh, I'm insane.
We covered it all in blood. Tell me why we wallow in the mud. Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa. The land is good, the land is fine. Gold we have, diamonds we mine. Yet we fight, we covered it all in blood. Tell me why we wallow in the mud. Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace.
Africa. Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa.